This is Shawn with Project Education. Here's another talk with counselors and experts in how to become tougher through trauma. All right. Hey, this is Shawn, and I'm here with Patricia. Patricia, tell us about, who you are, what you do, and some of what you're feeling on the front lines.
Okay, well, my name is Patricia Lewis Mills. I'm the family counselor at Taravella High School. And some of the experiences that I've had with our kids have been dealing with their anxiety, their depression. A lot of the seniors have a lot of questions. What's going to happen? Am I going to graduate? Am I going to be able to take my SATs? Will I be able to qualify for financial aid still? Will I be able to get into that school that accepted me pending a grade of my SAT getting a little higher? So a lot of the seniors have had a lot of anxiety, and it trickles down obviously to them just feeling defeated. They are getting depressed. They don't want to log in. They don't want to do their work. They're not returning homework. And I feel a lot of the other students, the freshmen, juniors, sophomores, they're just having a lot of anxiety of the unknown. They're having a lot of feelings of, sadness, where they're not able to see their friends. They're not able to step out and hang out with their friends at the mall. A lot of them feel like this is going to kind of going into their summer. And most of them that I have dealt with, it had been more so anxiety, depression. Some of them were cutting. Some of them were using pills, substance abusing. Some of them have promiscuous sex to, just feel nothing, basically, if it may. I feel like, a lot of them, and for all of us, it's unknown times, it's uncharted waters, things that we've never had to experience. So we're all kind of like holding each other down, if you may, to get to the other side, So sometimes they'll ask me questions and I'm honest with them. I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Like I said to my husband and to anybody, it's like I feel like I'm the mom, and I take off the hat and I'm the teacher, and I take off that hat, then I'm the cafeteria lady, then I'm the hall monitor, then I'm the, just so many hats in one day. And it's a lot. And so the anxiety level, even for myself, has been up, because you're like, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Am I helping my daughter to get on Canvas? So you still have to kind of maintain some type of sanity in your own home to be able to help others.
Right.
So some of the frustrations that I found is just trying to make connections with the kids. Some of them are not waking up till midday. I just spoke to a young lady now because she just woke up, So normally when I'm after,
and it's 3:30 right now.
That's good, because I had one call me at 7:30 the other night. She just woke up because she doesn't go to bed till 6 a.m. from watching Netflix all night. So, just trying to link up with the kids that do need the help, that do need the service. When I was on campus, they would come knocking on my door every day. I need help. I need you to talk to me. Now I'm trying to reach out to them, and they're scarce. So, out of a caseload of,
why do you think they're so scarce?
Sleeping in, they're not interested. And a lot of them, the anxiety levels that they had at school, they're not experiencing it at home. So it's a little bit, on a downside for them. Some of them are depressed, but they're just keeping it inside because no one's seeing them to see that they're depressed. So they're not in school depressed, so the teacher can send them to me. They're in their room. Their parents are just like, good, she's quiet, she's fine. But when they talk to me, they're telling me I'm in my room because I'm depressed. I'm sad. I don't want to come out. So, it's like, it's like one hand you're trying to be helpful, and the other hand you're trying to, to be effective, but you need them to be able to be there for you to provide that service.
Right.
So if they're not picking up the phone or they're not logging in, you almost feel worthless.
Yeah, I understand.
Useless.
And I think a lot of us have felt that during quarantine, because our normal rhythms, the things that we find ourselves to be good at or used to, like almost all that's gone. You admitted that too. You mentioned some of that anxiety because of the multiple hats you wear. What are some things you do practically to kind of maintain your sanity?
What I used to do is every once in a while, I would go to the spa, get my nails done. I have no nails.
You got to go on the black market to find a spa that's open now.
Well, there's none. But we've taken up just walking in the neighborhood in the evenings now. And because we're all home, so we've kind of made it like a little family thing to do. The kids will go bike riding, we'll walk around the neighborhood. But that's about it. There's really not much else you can do. I know I've kind of, watch TV till there's no more TV to watch. So it's like there's really not a lot of downtime to be able to just kind of let loose. So normally, you know, if I'm bored, I go to my parents' house, get in the pool, so just go to the mall, walk around. Now you're limited. It's like my closet is the mall, you know, my bathroom is the spa. So there's really not a whole lot that you can do. And I have a friend of mine who came over to visit me today. We were talking about it yesterday. I haven't seen her in 2 months, and that's never happened. I see her almost every weekend.
Right.
So she finally came over. We're doing the 6 feet distancing, but still, you know, you miss your friends, you miss your family, you miss your coworkers, you miss your colleagues, you miss the students that you assist. And so it becomes kind of sad when, especially for myself, I'm very much, you know, extrovert. So for me, it's like being stuck in the house. I'm like, okay, what's next? What's next?
Yeah. And it's cultural too. Like, you know, I'm Brazilian. So like that, we were like the hug and the kiss on the cheek types, right?
Yes.
It sounds like you've got that
This
same
elbow
like,
thing
desire.
doesn't work for us.
No. Yeah. So what is that? It doesn't count.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? I'm curious for myself, like missing some of that human connection. Like I was on quarantine for the last 2 weeks. I just got back my negative test for COVID today. And I give my wife like a half hour kiss, but because I was like, even her, I had to keep my distance. You better be careful
so you don't have another baby.
I know. I already have 3. I can't have more.
I know.
I don't want to have more.
Yes, 3 little ones.
You know, so like, it's crazy because that distance, I was already feeling that from everyone. And then to do it with even my wife, that distance, it was painful.
That's tough.
How do you cope?
I mean, for me, like, let's say on Sunday was my birthday.
Yeah.
And it helped a lot that my friends and it was about maybe 15 of us. We did a Zoom. So it didn't feel so disconnected because normally we would have been together. So it felt kind of good that they thought about me. They included me. They did a Zoom and everybody saying happy birthday. My husband went out and bought a cake. So, I mean, to me, I feel like just being around my family and my friends is usually all I ever want anyway. And with it being Easter, I still went out and did an Easter egg hunt with my kids. I still tried to keep some normalcy to it. You know, I didn't want to go all out, but I definitely did do something. Yeah. And I'm just learning to appreciate the little things that we normally don't get to do when we're running and, you know, hustling, bustling. So my kids learned to ride their bike without a training wheel. My daughter is learning to bake. I'm teaching her some more Creole words. So, you know, for her to build up her bilingual dictionary. We're reading together more in the evenings. Just little things that we were like, no, I gotta go. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So you kind of felt like you were shushing them away, where now I'm able to kind of, you know, oh, let's sit down and read this book. We can stay up late because we have nowhere to go in the morning, you know? So I kind of appreciated this quarantine time. I really did. I appreciated the time because never again in life will we ever have however many weeks it takes with your family, you're still getting paid and you're spending time with your kids. Like there's nowhere else. We'll never get this again unless we get another COVID-20, but definitely we'll never get this again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I've talked to people and just thought it's like when this is just a story that we tell each other about, like what kind of story are we going to want to tell? Is it, you know, oh, I watched the series that whole time, or is it, man, you know, I connected with some old friends. I reached out. I learned how to ride a bike without training wheels. I mean, not me, obviously. I know how to ride it, but you know, so you know, it's good. Any advice to just anything for our seniors? You know, I know they're really going through it.
I mean, from the ones that I have spoken to, I just basically tell them, I said, you've worked very hard to finish school. Obviously, you're going to finish school. Whether you get the hoopla and you get the balloons and all of that stuff, it may not come from the school, but that doesn't take it from your family doing something from you. So a lot of them were like, yeah, you know, but they just had that thing about walking across a stage and, you know, doing like this to their family and hearing the, oh, I think that, you know, that is one part of it, but that doesn't take away from the fact that something can be done for them individually. And I know Runcie spoke about, yesterday he had an address where he spoke about they're potentially doing something for them. It may not be in June, but they might do something for them in the fall. So at least it's something to think about or to look forward to, but for them to understand that all their hard work is not going unnoticed. They will still go to the colleges that they choose to. They will still get accepted. You know, it's not like this is the end of their college life. This is just the beginning. This is just a stepping stone. And how they deal with all of that is basically, you know, their resiliency.
Wow. Finish well, I guess is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Finish strong. Resilience.
That's good. That's good. And are there any things you're worried about being underreported? Like you mentioned, that is not everyone's reaching out the way that maybe they could or they should. Are there concerns you have for some of your students?
Um, yeah, I mean, the concerns that I have is the ones that we're not able to reach out to just to see how they're doing. Because a lot of the families, they have numbers on file, but they're not picking up for whatever reasons. I don't know if maybe I don't know why they're not picking up because they don't know my number personally.
Mm.
But I'm hoping that, whatever services or resources that they need, they feel confident enough to ask us for it because I have a wealth of resources. So it's just a matter of them reaching back out to us because we're making the phone calls, we're leaving the messages. So we definitely want to at least let them know we are there.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Any last thoughts on something like, how do you prepare for a crisis like this? I know that's not really possible because most times you can't predict it, but I'm fascinated by this idea of post-traumatic growth, right? How you can become tougher through trauma. You can let this move you in a positive direction. Do you have any thoughts to that? How someone could use this time?
How to prepare for this? I mean, there's really never really a way to prepare for it, but just in hindsight, you definitely know you want to have access to certain resources ahead of time so that way you can reach out to those resources when the time comes. There's a lot of resources that came after the fact, and I think now, and I'm just going to say Broward County Public Schools, but I'm sure it's other school districts, but I'm pretty sure Broward County Public Schools sees now the disparities on a lot of the children that are not afforded the free lunch, the free laptops that they probably should have given those kids from day one, the access to when they're home sick for whatever reasons, why wouldn't they be able to log on and do distant learning? Why would they be recorded, absent when they could have probably just done the work online? Providing them with free internet. If we can provide them for free internet, we should have been providing them those services so that way they can keep up and catch up with some of the things that we have or that are demanded of them. So it's like they come out with these resources after the fact, but they should have probably given all of these kids a laptop from day one.
Yeah.
A lot of kids don't have resources. And I had one young lady, the week that we were out, the first week, she called me and she said, Miss Patricia, I don't have any food here. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have any food? She goes, there's no food in my house. And I'm like, okay, where's your mom? And I know she lives with her mom. Her mom decided to go and spend time with her boyfriend. So she left the 16-year-old home alone because she feels that her boyfriend and her could have potentially harm her because the boyfriend, I think, is 60 years old or whatever. So I told her, I said, well, listen, they're giving out food at the school. Why don't you go to the school and get some food? She goes, oh, okay. So she goes to the school and I guess she comes back. And then the next day it's the same thing. She goes to the school and she comes back. And then I told her, I just was following up with her. I said, listen, what kind of food are they giving you? She goes, by the time I get home, the food is gone. She's eaten all the food. And I'm like, well, what did they give you? She goes, just like sandwiches and milk and apples and stuff like that. But she needed it and appreciated it because she didn't have anything at the house. So then when I asked her, I'm like, well, you could always just go by the school and pick up the stuff. They're giving you breakfast and lunch. She goes, oh, no, but it takes me an hour to get there. I said, an hour to walk to the school? Because I assumed she lived in the school catchment area. This girl was leaving her home in Coconut Creek to walk to Taravella in Coral Springs to get a little bit of food to go back home. Yeah, she had no food. So finally, when I told her, I said, you need to talk to your mom and have your mom, bring you groceries. Her mom bought her like a bag or two of groceries and was like, oh, here you go. You can figure it out. Basically, she thinks popcorn is food, macaroni and cheese is food, as opposed to just helping her daughter, fix a plate or do it. And this poor girl, her grades are really good. She logs in, she does her work, but her thing was she didn't have enough food in the house to keep her going, motivated. And just something as simple as that, free school lunch. She's not part of the free reduced lunch, so they take the element of how much you make to see what you can provide. Her mom makes good money. That's why she's not part of the free reduced lunch. But then on the other hand, she wasn't getting the food. So now she's going to the school and picking up food every day and she's still going. I don't know if she's Ubering or what she's doing, but she's still going there to get food. And we're in week 5. I don't know if she's walking. I know before she told me her dad had given her money to Uber. You know, her dad had given her money to Uber. And I think Uber Eats. Yeah. Give me, hold on 1 second.
No, you're good. Working from home, I get it.
Yeah. Her dad was giving her money to Uber Eats. But then they weren't delivering. So she wasn't able to get food to deliver to her. So she had to go to like these, walk through, drive through McDonald's, to get food. So it's tough on a lot of our kids in different ways. But I feel like, to prepare, to make sure some of these toilet tissue, some of this hand sanitizer that we take for granted, put them up, put them in stock, put them up, put a little stock away, whatever it is, because you never know. You're going to need them for a rainy day. Have cash on hand, because I had a hard time trying to get cash out of my bank. That the ATM, they didn't want you to go inside. You had to go through the drive-through. And because you didn't have this, you have to do a long line. And, just having some cash on hand in your house somewhere.
Wow. Yeah. Even emotional resources. Like I know people said, man, I didn't ever need somebody to talk to like that until now. Right. And now they have to develop friendships where you can get real about what you're feeling.
I did a certification last week for telehealth to do just what we're doing right now. And a lot of the kids, they don't want me to see them. They're like, Miss Patricia, I don't want you to see me. I'm laying in my bed. I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, okay. And a lot of these people that I'm concerned about are my cutters, the ones that I need to see their arms, and they don't want to show me their arms. Because they know when they come to my office with long sleeves, the first thing I tell them is pull your sleeves up. And now they don't even want to see me. So I can't tell them to pull your sleeves up. So I don't know if they're cutting. I don't know if they're still smoking marijuana or where they're getting it from. I don't know if they're still taking their grandparents' medication. Because a lot of them do that.
Wow. I really appreciate you taking the time and just doing what you do out there on the front lines. This is good. I hope we have a second talk like this because I think we'll all know more in a couple of weeks, since we'll still probably be in quarantine. And it'd be interesting to catch more of what you're getting from the front line. So, but as far as for this recording, just want to thank you so much, Patricia,
Thank you, Shawn.
Yeah. All right.